Hello everyone, this is your psychological mentor, Park Seni. The heat is intense, but I hope you take good care of your health. I have a story to share with you. In a neighborhood, there were two beautiful women. One woman was so beautiful, even her clothes were stunning, that people would stop her to talk and shower her with compliments as she passed by. The other woman was beautiful too, but her clothes were very shabby. That's why she didn't receive people's attention. But one day, the woman in shabby clothes gathered her courage and approached the woman in the fancy clothes to speak to her. "Excuse me, just for one day, could I borrow your beautiful clothes and walk with you? If I could do that, I could show people something I have, and it would truly help them." Upon hearing this, the woman in the fancy clothes readily agreed. So the two of them wore very beautiful clothes and walked together the next day. As usual, people continued to praise and show interest in the woman wearing the beautiful clothes, and they also began to show the same interest and admiration for the beautiful woman who had changed from shabby clothes into pretty ones. As the woman in the fancy clothes continued walking with the woman who had worn shabby clothes, she listened to her story with interest and realized that it was a very valuable story. And she completely understood what the woman who had worn the shabby clothes wanted to convey to people. So the two became inseparable, best friends. Even today, they continue to walk the path together. The woman in the shabby clothes is the truth, and the woman in the fancy clothes is the story. Truth and story have little meaning when they are separate. Breathing life into truth is what becomes the story, and breathing life into the story is what becomes the truth. So, you need to present what you want to say and what you have experienced in life as a story filled with truth. In doing so, your story, to speak the truth, you need to have many experiences. Keep accumulating many good experiences. And wouldn't it be wonderful if you could ensure that the amazing story you have, along with the valuable truth it contains, is widely known by people? I, too, will continue to help many people with the experiences I've lived, the stories from them, and the truths they contain. When we were young, we would ask our grandparents to tell us interesting stories or old tales. What is this? Make me enter a state of high concentration and immersion with that story. That's how it was done. Because humans have a tendency to want to immerse and focus deeply, please create that state for me with the story. It would be no different from saying this. That's why we crave stories. So, even though Iron Man is dead, if Iron Man 5, 6, 7 came out, you all would have watched them. Because you're curious about the story. So, know that people are always interested in stories, and of course, it would be even better if they contain truth. But first of all, stories have the power to captivate people like this. Keep this in mind, and let's target people with stories. For example, let me give you just one example. You need to sell something well, but when you try to sell it, people find you annoying, saying they always receive things from people like you. They might say they're a bit annoyed, that they have to work and are busy, asking you to leave in a blunt manner. Most people might just feel disheartened and leave. However, the person who turned you away is also human. So they can get immersed in a story, right? In such cases, you can say, "Excuse me, have you ever been on a trip to Europe?" If they say yes, then you can say, "Let me tell you a story from Venice." Their ears will perk up. That's when you tell this story. In the streets of Venice, a street musician was diligently playing the violin, but no one was paying attention to the performance, and people just kept passing by. There was a hat in front of him to collect money, but not a single coin was inside. Feeling sorry for the scene, a gentleman approached and asked the musician, "Could you lend me your violin for a moment?" So the man began to play the violin passionately and skillfully, and as the beautiful melody spread, people gathered in front of him as if entranced, forgetting what they were doing and completely immersing themselves in his performance, showering him with praise. Coins and money overflowed the hat in front of him, piling up around it. Do you know who that man was? That man was none other than the violin virtuoso, Niccolo Paganini. As you can see, Even with the same instrument, the sound can be completely different, depending on whose hands are playing it. You might think you've seen countless people like me, but in fact, I am like Niccolo Paganini in this industry. Could you please take the time to appreciate my distinctive performance? When you say this, the other person will start to think, wow, is this person really such a figure? Does this person really have a philosophy? Could there be something different? They can't help but have these kinds of expectations. Already, that story stimulates the imagination, the language of the unconscious, making them inevitably see you as if you were the protagonist of that story. So what should you do? Let's hear from the representative. Please show us your distinctive performance. Most of the time, this is how it goes. If they say they don't want to listen, it means that person truly doesn't know the first thing about art. Until they admit that they are such an ignorant and unfortunate being who cannot recognize the difference in level, let's give it a listen. That's how it comes out. So you need to understand that there is a completely different outcome when you haven't prepared a story compared to when you have. Prepare a story that suits the person, a story that they might be interested in, and then go to persuade them. Then you will achieve results that are very different from what you have now. I use this a lot myself. Don't just do this. As a tip, practice until it flows naturally from your mouth, and then sincerely share the story with the person, winning their heart, step by step. I hope you feel, realize, and learn a lot. So prepare many stories. I hope you do the same. If you found this helpful today, please like, subscribe, and set the notifications so that you can quickly know when I announce a full class. Then, see you next time. Take care of your health in this hot weather. Thank you.